It is a beautiful day today, and this is the daily headline newspaper update on the Insider Podcast. I am Coyote Sonny, and with me today I have the Punch newspaper, Nigerian Tribune, Business Day, The Guardian, The Nation, and outside Nigeria, I have the Daily Mirror. Starting off from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this day, we have on page 15, Southern governors unveil 5-point agenda for region's development, with Rider Abiodun emerges forum's chairman. And on page 5, amid deposition rumor, Shettima urges Sokoto government to guard Sultan jealously, says he is an institution. Police beef up security at Sanusi Bayero's palaces, chase away hunters. On page 30 of Nigerian Tribune, U.S. government awards $2.6 billion grants to 33 Nigerian companies. Interesting. On page 30, Tinubu names Tunji Bello FCCPC CEO. On page 6, Otedola buys fresh 2.22% shares as stakes in FBN Holdings hit 11.63%. On page 30, court acquits ex-Lagos Speaker Ikuforiji on money laundering charge. And to some other stories on the front page, we have this one on page 27, how we killed retired army general, suspect, police arrest 4. On page 5, protest rocks Ondo over abduction of 300-level student. On page 3, the last one, we're seeing NCDC records 53 deaths, 1,528 suspected cholera cases, with Rider activates National Emergency Operation Centers. Deaths in Lagos now 29 from 574 reported cases, says government. Cautious citizens to avoid unregistered beverages. Ogun records 1 death, 25 suspected cases in 7 local government areas. Intensify environmental surveillance. Federal government tells states, local government areas. And now to other stories and to other newspaper. This one from Business Day. We're seeing here the big story. Crude shortage threatens Dangote's petrol supply takeoff in July. And to some other stories. This one on page 31. How long it takes a security officer to own $500,000 Dubai home. Interested. On page 28, CBN grants IMTO's Naira access to boost remittances. On page 28, cholera, Lagos death toll hits 29 as 30 more hospitalized. And on page 30, the last one, apps drive 1.22 trillion Naira loan demand in 1 year. Quite an interesting one right there. And to the Guardian newspaper today on page 6, the listed firms, shareholders 130 billion Naira trapped in SEC, Finance Ministry 5 years after. On page 3, why governors may stall new wage at state level. On page 5, it will take decades to get out of banditry, Sultan laments. On page 29, unmetered electricity customers rise by 600,000 in 3 months. On page 3, Northern politicians visit to Buhari plot to unseat Tinubu in 2027, says Sani. On page 8, embattled Rivers Council chairman, supporters protest back police occupation. Also on page 7, cholera, Ogun records 1 death, 16 suspected cases. On page 5, Obi expresses worry over exodus of multinationals. On page 6 of The Guardian, after upsetting Kano, political tremors rumble around Sultan of Sokoto. On page 29, the last one, unmetered electricity customers rise by 600,000 in 3 months. Now to the Punch newspaper today. On page 26, the big story, Dangote refinery. Operators seek federal government intervention as marketers opt for fuel imports, with riders. Dealers slam IOC's NMDPRA silent amid dirty fuel import accusation. On page 3, minimum wage. Be patient with Tinubu, presidency pleads. On page 2, cholera spreads to 107 local government areas, 1,528 persons infected. On page 3, anti-Sultan plot, Shettima, PDP won as Sokoto denies allegation. On page 24, Senate writes AGF meets Cardoso over 30 trillion Naira loan probe. Also, other stories on the front page we're seeing here on page 22, wire fraud. Court orders Nigerians extradition to US. On page 4, cleaner bags live jail for sexually assaulting baby in church. Quite a sad one right there. And on page 2, Northwest insecurity affecting other zones, Tinubu lament. Okay, now to the Nation newspaper today. We're seeing right here the big story, why we insist on state police by southern governors with riders as chief security officers who should have control. Abiodun is forum chairman. On page 3 of the Nation, Senate committee seeks more facts from AGF in probe of 30 trillion naira CBN loan to federal government. On page 3, court clears ex-Lagos speaker Igufuriji of money laundering. On page 5, Ayedatiwa Ajayi clash over scrapping of 33 Ondo LCDAs. On page 6, cholera death toll rises to 53 in 107 councils. Deaths in Lagos now 29. Tunji Bello is Consumer Protection Commission CEO. That's on page 4. And this one right here, state battle NLC over 30,000 naira wage payments default claim. Also on page 2, Tinubu urges North to fight insurgency in unison. Why I put Northerners in charge of defense from Bolaji, Ogundele, Abuja and Augustina. Okay, the last one here also, Rivers crisis, pro-police protest, rock council secretariats, and that's on page 58. Now outside the country, this one on the front page of the Daily Mirror, Princess Han hurt in horse accident. Court told of dark depravity, guards plot to kidnap, rape and kill Holly, with rider accused plan to knock out star with chloroform in night raid, jury hears. And those are all the headlines from the newspapers today. Kindly do share your reaction or comment on the question and answer box below this post. Thank you for tuning in today. I am Kayode Sonny. See you next time.